Welcome to Awkward Channeling, where spiritual insight meets real life awkwardness. If you're here for truth, growth, and a little chaos, you are in the right place. Hi,
Hey, everybody.
guys. Welcome to Awkward Channeling. I think that I had this scheduled for the wrong time. So hopefully some of you know we're actually here at
Oh,
this time.
yeah.
Um, who knows what I was doing?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure that was on
It's
me.
been a weird week.
It
Totally.
has. It has been a very kind of odd, well, I mean, it's just been odd months. Let's just be
Right.
honest.
Yeah.
But both of us have had some energy work and, some parts being pulled back and some different things. So, um, that's a little, my favorite word, discombobulating,
Right.
frankly.
Yeah.
So we are both kind of dealing with that today. So we will be as awkward and dingy as usual,
Maybe
but
a little more so.
maybe, maybe not. We'll see. We are here to talk about sovereignty
Right.
and to talk about where some of the areas are that we pick up negative energies and we don't even know it. The reason this is coming about, it's funny because a lot of people are talking about this, but we received a mess. Well, Joelle, received a message about it, and that there's a lot going on with little buggy type energy over media, social media, TV, and that, and um, it's more than it's been in the past, and it isn't
Right.
something to fear or be worried about, but it's something to think about, well, I wanna stay clear, which is, you being sovereign in your energy.
Right.
Be in control of your energy, I guess
Yeah.
it really is. Not in the era of protection, but,
Just
hello.
trying to stay clear and stuff, no matter what
Yeah,
you're
just come
doing
on.
or who you're around.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Discombobulated. Yeah.
Favorite word. I don't know who is bringing it in, but I get it all the time, and I
Yeah.
say it quite often, I noticed. Not in regular life, just when we're on here.
Right.
It's funny. Um, yeah. So I even put up notes because I'm afraid we're gonna be all over the board.
Right.
But we've talked a little bit about sovereignties being, the authority of your own energy and your space. I guess we need to bring
Yeah.
that in too. It means that we decide what gets to come into our mind, our emotions, our energy fields, our spaces, right? Like, it's up to us. And it's not really about control or force, right? Like, we wanna be as graceful as possible with this because I I feel like, first off, intention is important. Intention is important really with anything that we do. Anything. And especially if you're looking at like a spiritual concept or what have you, your clear intention is important. And so it's not really about forcing or controlling or, putting on a hazmat suit to go outside. It's more about, hey, I'm going to keep my energy clear and these are the ways I'm going to do it.
Right. And especially if you're like scrolling, because that's one of the places where you can grab a lot of stuff, especially now with everybody. I have had to unfollow, mute so many people recently just because it's like, I don't want to hear this, I don't want to see it, and it's like, go away, I don't want it, and it just, that's one of the things that really helps keep you clear is not getting into the social media drama. I like,
Making choices about that.
right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I did that a ton of years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking at least 6, 7 years ago. I I went through my social media feed and I was like, "I don't wanna see all this stuff."
Right.
I want hopeful, I want happy, I mean, a little bit of reality is gonna stream in, and that's fine, but
Yeah.
I'm not willing to put my energy into it. I
Right.
started really pulling back from that a long time ago, but, lately I've noticed that all of a sudden, there is much more of that negativity floating around and coming through, and, more people are picking up and getting kind of pulled in, which is easy to do, right? I mean, we all have moments where we pull into it, and then we
Oh,
hopefully
yeah.
realize and we back out.
Yeah.
But
And
there's a
it's
lot
not
of that going
just
on.
trying to bring you into, the dramas and the fear. I mean, if you have friends, like there have been people that I personally know that all they do is complain. mute,
Bloop.
mute. You know.
They have a 30-day, if you close somebody's post, it'll give you an option to snooze them for 30 days, and I really enjoyed that through COVID because people were off the rails, and I was just like, "This is so weird." I mean, none of this even makes common sense to me, so, like, the way they had us pitted against each other was really
Yeah.
annoying, so I started snoozing people and seeing, because I wanna give them an opportunity to catch
Right.
up, to realize what's happening. If they can't hear it, then I snooze them, and when they come back around, I see how they're doing. Maybe they'll be a little bit better when they come back around in the 30 days,
Right.
so that's an option.
Yeah. And that's I'll never forget. And that's one of the things that really made me realize was we had a hurricane one year
Mm,
and we were without internet for 18 days. And after I was like,
that nice?
it was the most peaceful time I had spent in a long time because I couldn't get on Facebook. And I was like, oh, that was a big wake up call for me because I was like,
Yeah,
wow, okay. And that's when it's like snooze, snooze, hide, delete,
yeah.
whatever,
Mm.
I didn't want to see because it does affect you. You don't think it does, but when you're not around it, that's when you really,
That's when if you take a break from it for any period of time and you open one of those apps back up, you feel the energy immediately.
oh,
You
yeah.
feel it. And so that's one of the places that I like to keep protection over my phone. I like
Right.
to put it over the apps. I like to just have the intention
Yeah.
that there is, violet flame light between me and that, or I send it through. I send light and love to people all the time. So it just depends on the mode or what's happening. If I see somebody kind of spiraling out online, I'll take a second and just send out some love or some
Yeah.
energy healing or something to help them, to support them. But it's important when we're choosing to do that, when we see someone that we care about that's spinning. I think it's really important to realize that if we get worried about them or we dive in too deeply, we've now kind of in a sense courted to them, and we will be pulling that energy to us and not know why we feel like we feel. So that's one of the places that we pick up negative energy, would be when we're worrying about someone or social media apps,
Yeah.
just really clearing them and, having the intention that you're not poking into anybody else's stuff on there. Um, and going back to the worrying about people thing, that's a place that we really do a couple of things.
Right.
That would be when we're worried, we're sending our energy out. If you're a healer in any way and you really care about someone and you really hope that they can see the way to fix their issue, we
Right.
will send our energy out. And that kind of fractures us in a sense. And then we also tune into that energy. So if we've done that and it's someone we care about, then we are siphoning energy back and we are also giving our energy. So we
Yeah.
have to remember that when there's something going on that we're concerned about. Now, I think that's for not just people you love, but things that you're concerned about in our reality, in our collective. So we have to remember, pull your energy back. Pull your
I
energy
know
back
bad
every
about
day.
forgetting that. I am so bad about
Me
forgetting
too.
it and replaying it in my mind. That's a big. I have to catch myself and be like, no, step away from it, and that's a
Yeah. Yeah, you have to
yeah.
say, "This isn't about me. It's okay." One of the things that I try to tell my clients, because a lot of them are, like, healer people, right? And so they're doing this and they don't know it. Like, we don't know we're doing it. So, one of the things I tell them is realize that if they aren't holding their whole plate, because what they're doing is siphoning that energy off them, and I think it helps the other person. I don't think it's good for their path though, nor is it good for yours. So you may be lightening their load, but they're not holding their whole load and they need their whole load to figure it out. So give it back with love. Let them hold it. It's okay. They're meant to have it. They're meant to hold it. And just love. Like, let's support you with love. Send an angel, right? I just survive that all the time, all the time. It's one of the ways to keep ourselves out of it, but still feel like we're helping in some way. I
Right.
think humans like to help more than we admit, frankly.
Oh, yeah,
You know?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. But in any kind of emotional conversations, that's a place we pick up stuff.
Um,
Um, empathizing, which we just talked about, because then we just absorb stuff. Um, and again, every day we should be releasing what doesn't belong to us.
right.
And we can simply do that by saying, I release everything in my energy field that I'm holding that doesn't belong to me, and just
Do not
allow
hold.
it. And the second part of that is then call all your energy back. Yes, something's out there, I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
And you can do that so simply. I mean, honestly, it's easy to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see. We were.
old rules we're learning when we were growing up. If we're a peacekeeper or the fixer or the emotional support person,
Yeah. It's a fixer.
it will run you into the ground.
Right.
I grew up with a very emotionally wounded mother who was very mean, but I emotionally supported her.
Right.
And it made life so much harder. But I didn't understand it, so I could
Yeah.
not have
You
done
didn't know
it.
any better either.
Yeah,
You grow up like that.
yeah.
You don't know any other way.
I didn't even realize it, and way before I came into any spirituality, until I had my own kids, and I realized she was a burden. And I remember saying, "Can you just leave me alone for a couple months? Like, I just need some
Right.
space because I need to work on me, and I'm having a hard time doing that, carrying your stuff." And when that came out of me, I was like, oh, I'm literally carrying her emotions. So if you have parents that are unhealthy, unhappy, whatever, you're going to carry that load, and you have to like realize whether you're becoming a people pleaser or what you're doing, right? And kind of back out of that. And
Right.
that's big. That's big healing to do that.
And
Okay,
it
bye.
can be hard. I mean, really hard because I
Mhm.
kind of did it with my mom, before. Yeah, she did not speak to me for months when I got married to Forrest
Oh,
because, we're here in Louisiana. He was stationed in Maryland, and I took her grandson from her, in her eyes. And
yeah.
I said, I'm sorry, I've 36 years, I've lived my life for you. I
Yeah.
need to be happy and do what's right for us. And
Sure.
it took her a few years, but she finally came around, but it was scary. I'm not gonna lie. It was scary.
Yeah. I bet it was. Have spent, well,
Mhm.
9 years without mine, and, she's living well somewhere, but, it just sometimes you can't continue that.
Right.
If you need to change something and someone is so extremely toxic, sometimes it's just you have to let it go and send them love when you think of them, and, you know, let them be. I'm sure she's just fine.
Right.
But, it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, we all have things that we have to deal with from,
Right.
how we grew up and what have you. And those play a role in how we deal with life.
Right.
Um, so if you know that, through childhood you did some of these things, you may find yourself being that as an adult, and then you have to kind of unwind it, which
Right.
takes some work, but you can do it. Um, one of the wanted to talk about one of the ways to kind of get more self-aware, because I think that's an important part of the sovereignty thing, is we have to kind of understand what we're doing, what's happening in our brains and our thoughts. And one of the things that is so basic, but it's when you get emotional or you're feeling off and you really don't see a correlation to your life, is this mine?
Right.
If you learn nothing else, learn how to get a yes or no answer to spirit. Use a pendulum, whatever it is. But is this mine?
Right.
And if it doesn't really feel like it's yours, if you have some inkling of where did this come from? I don't understand why I feel this way. It's probably not yours. You
Right.
can almost assume it isn't. And then again, oh, okay,
Send
I'm disconnecting from that. I
Mhm.
send it back to whoever this belongs to with love and gratitude. That's what I do.
Right.
You do something like that?
And it is that simple. I mean, it really is.
Yeah. Yes, and that's us being just aware and
Right.
us being in control of our own energy field and learning to manage it when something weird is going on for us.
Yeah.
So, everything I do is super powerful and super simple because
Right.
I am a simple person. I don't want to complicate things. I don't think we need
No.
to.
No.
Another thing I use when I know somebody's energy is interfering with me is what's theirs is theirs and what's mine is mine. What's theirs is theirs, what's mine is mine. And what I imagine is that we're just separating that energy.
Yeah.
They can hold theirs, I can hold mine. It's something that works in a moment. Say in your head 3 times, easy stuff to separate your energy field from another. Um, I don't know if you can get any simpler than that.
Right.
I'm just like,
I like
uh,
to do,
just
especially when I'm healing
mm,
somebody, and I was like,
mm.
nope, it's going through me, not to me. Through
Oh,
me,
yeah.
not to me. And that it's kind of the same,
Not
but
even through me.
right.
Girl, you just take it over. I don't want coming through me. Just kidding. But, I did ask a question the other day. I was doing some kind of work. Oh, it was I was having a lot of earthbound spirits here for some reason. And the reason was I was supposed to cross them over, but I was ignoring it as I usually do until it built up. And then I was asking, wait, am I crossing these people over through me? And I'm like, I don't care if I am. I'm not doing that anymore. Here's a portal over here, right? Like, let's not do that. I just don't.
Right.
I try really hard. The energy comes through us, but I don't nothing else. Set that intention. Um, I did have a situation once with someone, and it was before I was really doing any spiritual work, where I talked to someone, she wasn't even local to me, but we were connected and talked off and on, and I talked to her, and she was so deeply depressed and having, a really hard time
Yeah.
that after I got off with her and we weren't even on the phone, we were literally chatting. And when I got off, like, the next day, I was like, "I am so depressed." I was so depressed I could almost not get out of bed.
Oh wow.
But I was like, "What is going on?" And that was, like, my first teaching of, "You hooked into that woman's energy, and you're helping her with that in that way, but it is not the right way, and it's not helping you."
Yeah.
So it's something that we can automatically do, which I think is an important factor. So I had to clear that out. But
Right.
yeah, it's very interesting how when we have an interaction with someone, no matter how direct or indirect it is, everything's energy. So we're passing energy back and forth,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
and that's like your phone rings and you look at it, and if you're like, oh, don't
right.
even answer, don't even answer, you know, just let them text you or whatever, and
Yeah.
say I'm not going to connect to them,
Yeah.
and
I
just
think that's really important too, because I think us making choices like that when we know, oh, this is not going to be something wonderful and I'm not up to it, that we honor ourselves. And that does help to keep our energy clear.
yeah,
It really does. So I think that's really important too. But yeah, okay.
I do that a lot. So, yes,
Every time my phone rings,
right.
you know, let's be honest, nobody wants to talk on the phone anymore.
Oh, I know. But caller ID was the best invention ever.
Excuse me. Still
Oh,
fighting off that cold. So I sound a little funny today, but um I feel like we're forgetting something and I'm missing it, but it's not in my notes.
what are we figuring?
Bum, bum, bum.
Because we talked about bringing your power back, and
Yeah, yeah. And sovereignty isn't about being closed off or disconnected from other
no,
people. That's something that I think that's a good point that we have in our
yeah,
notes over here. You don't have to disconnect completely from
no,
people. You just don't accept their energy. You just have the intention that we're going to have a conversation. I'm not going to keep a hold of any energy that I'm experiencing while I'm having this conversation. It's going to go with them. And if you feel like it didn't, then you do something simple like, oh, I don't want to hold that. What's theirs is theirs. What's mine is mine. Like, let's
right,
just clear that out. Send them love. All is good. And that will just quickly disconnect you. but we don't want to fully disconnect from people. Like we need the human interaction.
Yeah.
It's important. Um,
And you can
yeah,
also, after you say whatever, feels comfortable, like take some deep breaths and feel yourself recentering.
yeah.
Call in your guides, guide me, guide me, ground me,
Ground me, guide me, help me.
do whatever. Y'all need to come ground me right now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Poor Joel. We did a little bit of work on Joel today, so you know.
I do feel better. It's just, woo.
Yeah, but when you have big work done, sometimes you have to like. Well, there's integration time, and it's going to take 4 days to integrate it anyway. So you're going to be kind of discombobulated, is how they say, which is fine. We do too.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And I think as I got more into energy, I like caller ID and texting. And
Oh,
I like it because then I don't have to intermingle my energy to make that decision, right? It's just, oh, presented information. I love that. Thank you. Uh,
right.
yeah, I think it just helps to not necessarily intermingle that energy. I don't know.
And
Um,
kids today have no clue what it's like to pick up the phone and
yeah,
you're scrambling, trying to think of an excuse to get off why you can't talk because
that's my
you
dad.
know
You
what's
can't
coming.
talk to him at all. He'll interrupt you with the second sentence. You say, "Okay, I'll let you go," dude. It's funny. There's so many people that just don't have never done well with a phone.
Right.
Honestly. Um, I don't know what that's about. Yeah, I mean, I had phone phobia. I mean, I would panic and hang up. It
Right.
was never fun. One of the other things that I have done in the past, so if I really feel like I just am having a hard time staying clear and really need to a good reset, and I actually have a video on my, it's older, but I have a video on my YouTube that is expanding your light. And what I would do was just kind of sit, closed eyes, a few deep breaths, and imagine this seed of light. And I usually found it in my heart. And I would just imagine it there, and then I would just be like, "Okay, just want to expand that light out with the intention that it's releasing anything that doesn't belong." And I would just keep expanding it out through my house and then let it just come back to however it was comfortable. But that was really helpful for a long time too. And I did use it as kind of protection in a sense. I would expand that light out and ask for it to just stay there, and just be out instead of in, right? Sometimes that made people talk to me a lot, but it
Yeah.
happens. But really, I feel like one of the really important things that I learned about protection against sovereignty through my path was I was first hooked up with someone teaching protection, energetic hazmat suits, and really like you're going to be attacked. And what I found during that period was that I was so attacked by everything and everyone who was carrying anything that it was defeating the purpose. And that's because the intention was to protect against an attack, and I was gonna be attacked, and that's the fear stance. We don't need to fear any of it. We are all so powerful. Each one of you are super powerful. There is no doubt about that. So, like, going out with the intention of, "Okay, I'm gonna put up a bubble of light, and that's just gonna keep my energy clear of anybody else's." And if it doesn't, then, I'll send it back or I'll send an angel out or whatever. But knowing I'm not accepting other people's energy. I'm
Right.
not accepting a nasty negative energy. Um, if one pops up, there's gonna be a reason,
Yeah.
right? So I know what we were gonna do. Uh, my alchemist guide for some reason wanted to come in. Let's channel somebody. Awkward channeling.
Yeah, because
Uh,
nobody was coming through for me today, which is really weird. But
yeah, I
just
know,
because
but
Shauna worked on me earlier today.
she got stuff going on. I got work done today too, but,
Yeah.
which was kinda cool.
Yeah.
Um, but it wasn't like the work Joelle. Anyhow, she's still
Sorry.
here. She's here, okay. Let's see what she has for us. Let's take me a second here. Raise my vibration. Yes, I am present today, and I love this conversation. This is so important. Understand that the main intention you have with your energy field moving in and through the world is that you have control over it. Nobody is overriding your energy. Nobody is overriding your intentions. It isn't even possible. We want you to understand that you have choices where these things are concerned. And sometimes you feel victimized, but it is because you don't understand where you need to hold boundaries and where your boundaries are being released or brought down. And it isn't about protecting yourself because you can't handle it, because you probably can. But it is about a balance of being compassionate and present for someone, maybe in a dark moment, but not absorbing or feeling the need to fix it because that's not your job. You fix your own stuff and others fix their stuff. So it is important to understand that even though you love someone and you want to help them, that intermingling your energy with theirs in the way that you absorb from them and leave with it is not helpful to either party and it's not necessary. Your presence, your love, your sharing of energy with them at the time of the conversation or interaction or whatever it is more than enough to help them. And I do agree. This one says they need to hold their whole plate. You don't want to feed them, let them eat off their own plate. And it's important because it is theirs. And when you are learning lessons in your world, you will have a theme come back at you all the time. Maybe the same kind of thing keeps happening with different people, and it feels like it just bounces back at you. And if you aren't holding the whole plate of that, that has to build up for you to recognize, oh, this is a theme. This is a problem. This is something to change. This is something to look at. Where's my boundaries? It has to build up. And if someone is siphoning, it takes that much longer, really, for that person to kind of come to the level of energy that they needed to reach in order to actually realize and address it. So understand that you holding for others isn't helpful for them in any way at all. It's beautiful. We understand the intention. We understand the way you want to love someone, but you can do that without absorbing or holding. And, a lot of people will say that they're empathic and they can't help it. But you can help it with intention. And that is by it being out of control and you realizing, oh, I'm empathic. I am absorbing from everyone and everything. So you start to set boundaries and then you start sending it back to where it rightfully belongs. You don't have to hold it. That you just don't have to. But if you make the choice that you don't want to keep doing that and that you wish to start sending things back and you begin to practice that, you will stop being affected in the way that it feels like a curse to you to be empathic. And a lot of people talk about it being a gift and a curse at the same time. And only is it difficult when you do not have your boundaries set, when you do not realize that I have the right to have a clean, clear energy, and it helps others for me to have a clean, clear energy field because then I am able to be so much more present. And if you walked around and absorbed from everyone, your your inner world is so chaotic that you can't even support yourself. So this is one of the pieces that is really important in this time with ascension happening at this time. So I wanted to share just those pieces and I'm really just reiterating what has more or less already been said here. So please understand that your energy is yours. It belongs to you. Have the intention that it belongs to you only and release the things that you no longer need to hold and work on your own stuff because you each have wounds. You each carry energies that you could work on yourself. So that is where we are right now in Ascension. Focusing in, staying clear, sending love to others, asking for their helpers to help them more, calling in their guardians, calling in an angel, sending love without attachment. That is really where you are now that would benefit you all the most. And I hope this was helpful for you, and we appreciate the time to come through today.
Thank you.
Goodness gracious, I have not channeled her in a long time. I'm so sorry. This cold is driving me nuts.
No.
Okay, I hope that made sense. I'm not sure I
Oh
understood
yeah,
all
that
she
was
was
such a
saying,
good
but
message.
she's really cool. I need to channel her more.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm wondering if anybody has questions. Like, is there something that maybe has struck something that we're really not hitting for you? Maybe we haven't quite been clear about something. Um, I would love to hear if anybody does have any kind of question. Um, one of the questions we could throw out to you is, where do you know? Think about where do you notice your energies being drained the most? Um, have you ever noticed after conversations that you felt different overall? Maybe your mood shifted up or down, right? Sometimes this can go positive, by the way. If people are in a
Oh,
really good mood, you can pick that up. That's that you're welcome to pick up. But um, you know, social media, TV, we didn't even hit on that. You
oh,
know, really like the programs and stuff, the TV, and that was the message that you had received, really, right?
yeah. That they're it's like little buggy things, that they have out to affect our energy. But like Shauna said at the beginning, it's nothing to live in fear of. You can just protect yourself, and you'll be
You say
fine.
flick them off.
Flick them,
He's like, "Just flick it off."
like little bugs.
That's so
Flick them.
funny. Yeah, yeah.
Especially like emotional shows, because when you get in your feels, because that's what happened to me. It's super emotional, and yeah,
Mhm,
that sucker attached like nobody's business. But I didn't protect
mhm.
myself either because I forgot. And we,
Yeah.
it's like the music. Like when I get up, I place shields over my music. Every screen that me and the family's going to use, just put
Mhm.
stuff up, protection up, so nothing can get through.
Yeah.
And
And
if
over any pictures you have on social media, I think this is an important one because 'cause I've had problems with that in the past. Just set the intention that nobody actually can reach you and attack your energy in any way, or attach anything to you via your videos or your, pictures or, anything that you've shared online.
yeah,
Blanket coverage, girl. Blanket coverage. I feel like we're gonna do a clearing too, but I'm not sure who's doing that. Is Shay gonna do that? I don't know. We'll
mhm,
see. Yeah, I feel like a little clearing would be kind of nice. Maybe just an uplifting clearing.
yeah.
Yeah, Shay will do that.
Okay.
We'll pull her back in a second.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Good discussion, valuable tips. When I'm feeling off, I forget to ask if it's mine. Yes, it's one of the harder things to remember.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, wait, is this mine?" Like, when I got that down, it was so helpful. 'Cause I was very much the absorbing empath, right? I mean, ca my life taught me it was a great training ground, honestly, and I'm grateful for it now, but growing up in a difficult situation, I learned to read energy young because I needed to know what was gonna happen next, and when things are kind of all over the place
Excuse me.
and, you have somebody that's really wounded in your life, it's kind of all over the place, you learn, to start feeling the feels, and then you set yourself up to be feeling everybody's feels to, "Oh, is it safe here?" Right? So
Right.
you have to, kind of undo that. But when I started learning, really learning and remembering, "Is that mine? What is this?" Oh, it became so clear, and then I realized if we're even asking that question, it is not yours,
Right.
and that's kinda just, how that came up for me too. But it's a lot, it's hard, it sounds very simple, but these are, new concepts and totally different than what we've been programmed to understand about how we live. So, we have to be really
Traits,
easy on
right?
ourselves. Yeah, and we have to have compassion instead of judging it. One of the things that I think knocked me down a level a lot when I was learning this was being so judgmental of myself when I would forget.
Yeah.
So I started just adopting, okay, so I forgot and it's been 3 weeks and yeah, I don't feel good. So now we're just gonna jump back on the bandwagon.
Right.
It's not the end of the world. We're not starting over. We're starting from where we left off. So, I'm just gonna keep doing that and just keep get more stickies or put reminders on my phone now that we have phones. You
Right.
know, all of those pieces to help remind ourselves, but to be compassionate with yourself about all of that. Um, and I had to learn how to be compassionate when I picked up entities and stuff because I knew that.
Right.
It happens. And I think it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
It's just different stuff. So let's see if she wants to come in for a little clearing real quick. Because I think she would be yeah. Okay. Yes, I will be happy to give a little clearing, a little attunement, and a little lift. A lift would be nice for each of you and anyone who watches this on replay as well. It isn't just in this moment, it will carry forward for everyone, and we will do that now. Yana skutata hiaya kiana soyaya sush hikia sotoya nikaya sototo shikiana soy hiaya hushiana katata saya kotoshu yaya nikiaya na soya yaya kiaya sushiana yaya kasoya katashoya. We want you to know how loved you are, how we are honored being able to assist you in this beautiful life that you each have moving forward. Little love infusion. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to share
You.
this energy with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was
Ooh,
different.
that was nice.
I don't know if I channeled the healing for her before. Oh, that's funny. That was funny.
I needed that. We should have
All
started
right.
with
Well, yeah. Show's
that.
always a little backwards,
Well, it
so
happens like it's supposed to. So
better late than never.
I enjoyed it. It was really nice.
Good, good. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Whew,
All right. Well, if no one has questions, where are we time-wise?
thank you,
I guess
everyone.
we're yeah, and on cue, Joelle's stuff is starting to be weird, so we're good to go. I hope this is helpful. Again, any energy that was given is great on replay as well. If you have questions or anything, just leave us a message or something. One of us is happy to answer you up. And you can now find us on Patreon, where we are offering a paid level of just $11 a month. But we are doing deeper stuff in that. Of course, we have a free level,
Yeah.
and we'll post this there. I forgot to do that. So but this will be on the free level. But we do a live on Wednesdays for the paid level. So no, okay, every other week on a
Every
Wednesday.
other, yeah, not
Um,
every.
the next one is on the 11th. So yeah, I think it's the
It's
11th.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Next Wednesday we'll be live on there. So I hope y'all do well, and
Thank you.
I don't know what else to say except
Join us next week for card pulls.
we'll see you next week with card pulls. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us today, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And you could join us on Patreon for exclusive content and deeper behind the scenes magic. We will see you next time.